Hey y'all, it's Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. It's Heart for Homeschool. Can you say hi? No, not today. This is Cypress, by the way. Hi. She is my youngest. She's 15 months old, but we do have one on the way, but into that later. So today I want to talk to you about homeschool, what it is, and can you do it? I am a homeschool mom to a 5th grader and a preschooler, and we have this tag along, and in come October we're going to have another tag along. This is our 3rd year homeschooling. Since we started, we've gotten so many questions. So to begin, I would like to first off start with a disclaimer. Homeschooling is not for everyone, and just because it is a perfect fit for my family right now, that does not mean that it is for everyone or that it is the best option for everyone. So I'm not saying that homeschool is it's the way to go, it's the only way to go. That is not what I'm saying at all. I am just here to give you some information about it, and if that is where your heart is leading, then I would like to help you along your journey. Okay, so what is homeschool? When you think of homeschooling, automatically you think, well, you're schooling at home. But once you start to dig into it, you realize that there are so many different options and ways to do it and styles to do it. You can do public school at home, which you get up, you sit at a computer, your day is timed, and you go through everything that they would do at public school. You're on the schedule with them, you take breaks with them, you do everything that they would do at a public school. You're just not with all your public school peers, you're at home. So there's that option. There is classical, there is traditional, which is pretty much bookwork heavy, or there's the Charlotte Mason style, which is light on bookwork. Then once you get into a subject such as math, you have spiral or mastery. So yeah, seems pretty overwhelming, right? You're overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed too when I started. So the best thing that you can do is to research, and you watching this video, you are definitely on the right path. So with research, once I started, I decided, okay, public school just doesn't seem to be working for us right now. So what do I do with my son? Do I put him in private school? Do I homeschool? So I started looking into all the different options. And one thing I did was definitely turn to YouTube. It helped me in so many ways, tremendously. In fact, it answered some of the questions that I had. So I thought, I might as well jump on here and help somebody too that may be looking for it. There are also homeschooling Facebook groups that you can join. And there's tons of Facebook groups. You can just get on Facebook, type in homeschool, and tons of lists. And all the moms on there are pretty helpful, and they want to help you if you're wanting help. Most states have a support group. I know here in Louisiana, we have Louisiana Homeschool Support, which seems to be a fantastic resource. I know when I started, I had so many questions, and they were so helpful about all the state requirements and what was needed. So that being said, you can homeschool in the United States in any state. Some of the requirements are different depending on what state you live. Some are pretty strict, some are very lenient. It just depends on what state you're in and what is required. Some states require 180 days. Some require 4 hours a day. Some you need only to turn in a paper saying that you intend to homeschool. Some you really need to be in an umbrella. And then there's some, you start at age, you have to start letting the government of that state know at age 7, some it's 5. So you really need to know the requirement before you begin the requirements of your state. Okay, so now the big question is, can you do it? I know when I started, I had so many questions. Can I do this? Am I going to fail them? Will we be behind? Is that funny? Will I be able to do it? Will I have the patience to do it? Can I help them the way that they need the help that they need? So just so many, will they be socialized? That's the big one that you hear is, will they socialize? And I can honestly tell you that we socialize so much more since we started homeschooling. In fact, I have to be like, sorry guys, we can't come play today. We can't come socialize today. We have to stay home. One of the ways that we socialize is book club. When my oldest son, whenever he was in school, is that funny? You are such a talker today. When my oldest son was in public school, he was reading and he could read, but he wasn't reading very good, very educational books or up to my standard. So we joined a book club and he has made so many friends and he has gained so much from that experience, and I will have to just do a whole YouTube video on that. In fact, if you would like to know more about our book club and what we do and how to get one started, you can comment below, and then I will try to get that video up for you. So, moving right along, can you do it? The short answer is definitely yes. You can do it. Depending on your living situation, things might be a little bit different. Your day may look different than my day, but that doesn't mean that you cannot do it. For instance, right now I am a stay-at-home mom. When we first started, I did work when we did homeschool, and then thankfully life changes occurred and I was able to come home full-time. So you can do it as a stay-at-home mom. You can do it as a working mom. You can do it as working full-time, working part-time. I have done it as all three. It is definitely doable. It is definitely possible. You can homeschool during the week, during the day, like morning time. You can homeschool weekends. You can do weeknights, or you can do weekend nights. It does not matter when you homeschool. If you are working full-time, honestly, the biggest question then becomes, what do I do with my child during the day when I'm at work and they're normally at school? That seems to be the biggest question. I know I was very lucky in the fact that I had family who would pitch in and help me whenever I was working, and then me and my child were doing homeschool during weeknights and weekends. So it just, you have to figure out all those family dynamics that are best for your family. So I would honestly say that the number one requirement when you decide that you want to homeschool, the number one requirement is that you have to have a heart for it. Because if your heart is not in it, it's not going to work. So I would definitely pray about it, educate yourself, make a pro and a con list, and definitely see where your heart is at. And if your heart is in homeschooling, then you're not going to fail. I mean, you will have some rough days, but honestly, you will not fail your child because your heart is there. Your heart is in it. You want this for your child. You want your child to succeed. You want your child to thrive in the homeschool environment. So you are not going to fail. Honestly, the other biggest question that I get since I've started homeschool is, Ashley, how do you have the patience to homeschool your child? I don't have it. I mean, me and my child, whenever we're doing homework, all we do is fight. How on earth could I possibly homeschool them? I mean, I just can't do it. There's just no way. And honestly, my response to that is, well, you teach your child the core values of your home. You teach your child what you feel is right, what you feel is wrong. To me, there's no reason why you can't homeschool. I know that whenever my kid was in public school and he would come home and we would sit down in the evenings to do homework, yes, me and my child, we seemed to butt heads the entire time. But what I have learned and what I have found out is the fact that it's not necessarily he and I butting heads, it's the fact that he is exhausted. He has spent 8 hours at school doing schoolwork. His brain is done. He doesn't want to do schoolwork anymore. He's tired. He is completely done. It is nighttime. I have been at a full job all day. I have worked all day. I am tired. I do not feel like fighting with him, and I know it's going to be a fight. Therefore, my patience level is in the dirt. He knows that it's going to be a fight so his patience level is in the dirt, and he's like, Mom, I just want to go outside and play, or I just want to get on my iPad and literally have no brain activity because my brain is warped because I've been at school all day working and I'm done. So if you have done homework with your child, you have essentially done homeschool. Granted, it is not your style per se. It may not be the way that you would do it. You would rather sit on the couch and do it versus sitting at a desk, and it may not be the problems necessarily that you would want to give your child, but in essence, you have done homeschool. It may even be a topic that you are not even remotely familiar with, or the way they do it may not be the way you would do it. But essentially, you have done homeschool. Granted, it is not a favorable homeschool, but you've done it. So my thing to you is if you were to pull your child out and you were to do homeschool with them, even if you did it weeknights, and granted you have worked all day and you are tired, your child has not sat at a school desk for 8 hours. Your child is not mentally exhausted. So only one of you is coming to the table or to the couch or wherever you decide to do homework. Only one of you is coming mentally exhausted, not two. Therefore, you're less likely to butt heads. Also, your heart is in it, so you are not going to fly off the handle without patience because you want this for your child. It's easier for a child, of course, to fly off the handle because they are not used to this. They are still learning. They are still a child. But they are less likely to do that when they are not mentally exhausted. So you are getting the fresh, ready to learn, because most children are motivated to learn. They want to learn. Granted, it's easier to learn in their style, whether they are a kinetic learner, whether they're a visual learner, whether they are a auditory learner. It helps if you learn your child's style and the environment that they thrive best in. So definitely you can do it. And patience will come, especially when it's on your child's part and you get into a routine and your child sees, hey, this works. It may take a while. You may have to take a little hiatus or a little bit of time off while your child is transitioning from public school to homeschool. That's a whole nother subject, and I'll have to do another video on that one, because it definitely is a transition and there is a transition period, and honestly it is hard to go from one thing to a completely different thing. So if you would like a video on transitioning from public school to homeschool, tips that you can use to aid in that, I would be happy to do a video for you. We have been through it. So just comment below, like and subscribe, and I will definitely try to get that video up for you. So to recap, homeschooling can be many different things to many different people. There is no right way to do it. There is no wrong way to do it. It is definitely doable. You can do it and you can succeed and your child can thrive. And I just would like to reassure all the moms or dads, because this is not just a mom thing. Dads homeschool all the time. Sometimes we have to bring dad in at home right now whenever there's a math problem and mom just can't seem to figure out how to get him to understand it. and dad swoops in, saves the day, and all is well. So I know many dads who definitely homeschool. So it is not just a mom thing. So the things that I can tell you is, honestly, pray about it. Pray about it. If you feel that your heart is pulling you, that God is pulling you to do this, it is possible. You can do it. Pray about it. Seek God about it. Educate yourself on it. Know what you're getting into. And just be ready. Be excited. It is a new chapter. It will open up so many different things for you and your child that you honestly had no earthly idea was even remotely possible. Since we have started, we have done things, talked about things, explored things. I have learned things, and it has been an absolutely rewarding experience. And the pros have outweighed the cons in so many ways that I never even thought that it was possible. So I definitely encourage you to keep going. Don't stop. You've got this, mama. You've got this. You can do it. So if you like my video, please like, please subscribe, comment. Let me know what you thought about it. Let me know if there was anything that I should probably add, what you would add, how your homeschooling journey began, how it works for you, what style you use. I am always open to different techniques. Like I said, I am not a pro. I have only been at this for 3 years. There are so many things that I still do not know. So just let me know, comment, and y'all have an excellent day, okay? I will talk to y'all next time. Bye, guys.